Hello and welcome. It's only been 2 weeks, 3 weeks since I've last streamed. And now, to be perfectly appropriate with the weather that's going on outside, and you can't see because the camera's there and I'm looking out the window, but I honestly should be playing Storm if I was going to be thematic. But no, I'm starting my prep for Eternal Weekend, and the this first weekend coming up is Legacy, and so I want to. I haven't played much Magic at all in the last few weeks, so if I'm going to get back to I titled it "Shaking Off the Cobwebs" because I came down to my office for the first time in a while, and literally had to take down cobwebs. So if we're gonna get back into things, something that I saw, uh, Nathan had posted on Twitter that I believe he had solved Legacy and had an 80% win rate or something, and so I thought that was a bit boastful, but it was interesting in that it was blue white uh, show and tell omniscience instead of the normal blue green, and I liked. I've always obviously liked Teferi. I would almost want to see Mentor somewhere or something like that to further maybe push the white splash. But what was interesting is a couple other personalities were like, "Oh yeah, I like that idea," and then took that and two different people with basically pretty much this list. Two different people top aided the Legacy Challenge. Just yesterday or Saturday, one of the two, they just top aided, and so then it's like, okay, well, obviously the deck is good, but now I have a tendency to want to play that roguish strategy, or definitely not something that's like blatantly on the radar. And that's making me wonder, okay, is this necessarily the right choice that I want to play now, if in fact it is going to be a known quantity, if that makes sense. So I still thought it's something that when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, that seems like I would enjoy that. So that was my plan, is let's go through that. The only thing I might question, and this is the latest list that he posted on Twitter, is there any other. Actually, let's go look at the lists that. I was going to say, let's go to Goldfish and see the other lists that just did well. Is there anything else in them that might be worth considering? So yeah, so here's the challenge. Do they show the other challenge? 1010. Miracles package. Interesting. Okay, so this was the Sunday challenge. Here's the Saturday challenge. Okay, so, and I don't remember what day he posted it. But okay, so here's OmniTell. If we start from there, those are just outside top 16. But that is the green version. And this is this is 4-color. Main deck, Firemind's Foresight, Veil of Summer, Teferi Narset, Uro, Icefang Quad. This is a little much. I was wondering about the 3 Teferi though. Would it make sense to have the other one be a Narset? I mean, maybe. Yes, log. This week is Legacy in preparation for the Legacy events, and then next week is all Vintage in preparation for the Vintage events. So it just so happens, instead of Eternal Weekend getting one day apiece, because last time we started with Vintage, and because I qualified for top 8, I didn't want to play on the Legacy day. Instead, I was prepping. So I do kind of like how they pulled them apart. The fact that they're on 2 different weekends, I feel like means I can play in all of them. I know for sure. Here, let's look at the schedule real quick. Exclamation point EW. Hey, Steve. Thank you, thank you. So, the dates are... Okay, so if we adjust this for my time, this would be 5 p.m. on a Friday, or 3 a.m. on a Saturday, which is only about 10 hours apart here. That feels... I feel like if you do a great run in the Friday event, you're kind of at odds for playing on Saturday. And then what's really weird is, okay, so if this is 3 a.m. Saturday morning, this is 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon. So the difference between these two events is like 36 hours, 35 hours. That seems off. That seems like the timing between these 3 events. It's like a short window of 10 and then jumps to 35. Because I think that's different than, yeah, Vintage. You have 3 a.m., 5 p.m., and then 11 a.m. on the Sunday. Like this, the Vintage events definitely, the Vintage events feel like they're spaced out better than the Legacy ones. Well, I'm glad you caught up, log, whatever the audio video issue might have been. So my goal was to at least start with this first event. Like I want to play in the 5 p.m. Friday event. I feel like that's the one I want to target. Now, I was talking about, because honestly, a 3 a.m. event for me, especially after a 5 p.m. the same day, is a little rough. I'm not going to lie. Now, it's not to say that I'm not awake at 3 o'clock, but it's usually I sleep before I have to wake up at 3 o'clock. So what I wanted to do was, a minimum, I want to play 1 Legacy and a Vintage. But I would like to play in more of them. Nice, log. Yeah. I know you might want to hear me in stereo, but you can do that all on its own. So I want to play at least 1 of each, but what I'm wondering is, I think I'd like to have some kind of incentive to maybe push to play 2 of each, but as much as I want to, I don't know if I can really play 3 on each weekend and still be a reasonable human afterwards, or not necessarily be able to function while I'm playing. So I think right now the plan for Legacy is to play this Friday one, which is be 5 p.m. on Friday, and then play this Sunday one. And that gives me plenty of time in between the two. So this Friday, and then this one would be 2 p.m. on Sunday for my local time. So I feel like those 2 are reasonable. Maybe if we find some deck in the course of this week, if I find a deck that I really, really like, then maybe we'll consider the 3 a.m. one. But as of right now, I'm just I'm gonna plan on only the other 2. So, oh yeah. So what I was saying is, if we found let's take one of these Teferis and make it a Narset. And then I think I'm okay with it. So, let's find League. Legacy. Legacy League. Let's jump in. I am kind of curious on some of these different things. So like having Venser with the ability with Caracas to keep kind of chaining or anything to that, degree. So you have Venser Caracas as well as, I guess this is not legendary on the backside, right? Oh, got our match. So, no, this is a blue land, right? Yeah. So we have blue land, Ponder, Preordain, Brainstorm, Force of Will, and if we find a quick show and tell, we just drop an Emrakul and play. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Okay. Like where we're at. They shuffled. Force of Will, pitching. Force of Will. Of these cards, I'm going to hit Brainstorm. Force of Negation. Okay. The main reason I decided to pitch Brainstorm there is not having a shuffle effect and thinking that was the, what do I want to say? Ha ha ha, draw your shuffle effect. Nice. So the question is, do I use Prismatic Vista first? No. So let's play the Prismatic Vista. Let's ponder, so that if we don't want to keep all three off the ponder, Prismatic Vista gets me out of it. Show and tell, okay. So let's go, we can just go for it again right now. Or, we can go for it again right now, or, yeah, let's go. Let's go. How about another one? Oh, come on. Hard cast, force negation. Yep. Resolves. All of our wishes have been exiled forever. We got beats. I think right now I'm going to plan to potentially impulse, or maybe if they go for something, have Venser. Like if they tried to play another Oko or something like that, bounce it back. Sure. Yeah, so I think that's not important enough. I want to impulse. What do you got for me? They have tapped a blue. They get I untapped the blue. I have to take one, right? Huh. I'm going to take the one that draws a card. What is my sideboard? There we go. So I'm going to go. I'm going to put show and tell on top and put impulse in my hand. In case of emergency that I have to dig for a force of will, I can ancient tomb through astrolabe to impulse. I know that sounds weird, but I'm just in case. Otherwise, we draw show and tell and everything's great. I'm sorry, what? Okay. I mean, I'm only at 11, but so the question is, do I need to Delver? So they have 2 cards left in hand. Do I grab that show and tell? No. I think I'm confident in drawing show and tell here. Show and tell number 3. I choose this one. Ant Delver Boggles ish. I'm not. I don't know what that was. So, what really changed? I guess being noble hierarch, delver creature type stuff. I probably want swords to interact with that. I think. One thing I'm not too sure about is how. Yeah, that's true. Bosiju as well. What really. What are my flex slots? You know, what kind of stuff can come? I feel like days. Days is something, especially once I'm on the draw. I think we want these Besagers. Is it. Am I able to cut a land for them as well? Or. I think I want these swords. Just. I believe I want these swords, but then again, I don't know that I do. I think Narset will do great against their card draw. So. If I cut the days, if I cut a couple preordains, couple impulses, that is true. To emergency get a Swords to Plowshare. What does this do? Counter a spell, counter an activated trigger ability, return a non-land permanent, create a. This is a lot of words. Create a token. Wow. It quite literally does. All right. I will keep a preordain. 60, 60, submit. Thank you, Steve, for buying the Dr. Pepper this month. All right, so we've got a quick show and tell again, yet nothing to do with it. Yeah, it's a mulligan. That's what I normally play, sure. I'm going to mulligan that one. Alright, so if I have Brainstorms and Fetch Land, I could probably pitch this one. So I'll keep this, pitch the land there. Start with an Astrolabe. They did not shuffle. Okay. I think I have one Plains in my deck. Noble Hierarch. Brainstorm. Now, ideally, I want the Omniscience. I want the Gristlebrand. It's not like say, Oath, where I need to get rid of those targets. 3. True Name Nemesis. Sure. we're halfway there. So if we put back one omniscience, put back one omniscience and Tundra, draw Tundra. I could just go back in for a brainstorm, that's true. I don't even have to expose myself to Tundra because of the Astrolabe. I can just get another island. I thought we put the Omniscience away, but sure. Actually, I probably need to keep a card for Force of Will, don't I? Alright, so if I put these two back, I'm going to draw one of them. I can play the Vista. Clear that island out. Ponder. So if I take the Ponder, Ponder lets me look at Cunning Wish, Snow Covered Island, and one wild card. Or just go blind. Yeah. That'll do, pig. So now I just need the time to get Besiju in play and not have it eaten. Maybe I should have countered that Curious Obsession? Because I'm getting to the point where I might not have the life for Gristlebrand, because this pays 2 life, does it not? Oh, they have the Wasteland, so now Besiju doesn't work. Yeah, if I play Besiju, they just waste me. They attack for 5 again. Although if I go for Show and Tell, they counter, I can counter back. They would need double counter. And if I pass, if I try to go another turn, they're going to draw another card off the Curious Obsession. They have 4 cards. Do they have double? Yeah. cast an instant or sorcery. Puts me at 8. If they had not played the Wasteland, I think I would have just played out Beseju. Yeah. Draw another one. We're not dead yet. Five, 4, 5, 6. They did not shuffle again. Didn't matter. 1. Alright, so definitely need. They have Veil of Summer and Fluster. Should I have my own Fluster? I don't think my own Fluster necessarily helps anything. And maybe what I should have fought over was the True Name Nemesis, because I didn't necessarily have a way to deal with it otherwise. So my plan there, not pitching the Venser, was to try to play the thing for card draw, Venser, pick it back up, play it again for card draw to try to dig. That was what I was thinking. Because if Narset could have hit Seagate Restoration, I could have drawn a bunch of cards. Having 2 of those. I think I just need to hit Beseju on time. I don't know if Flusterstorm is necessarily what I want to use. I figured with the number of cards in their hand that if it resolved, we were good. I mean, we got most of it here. We have Astrolabe, then we can Impulse. I mean, having both of these is kind of brutal. I mean, if I'm just looking for a show and tell, they've kept 7 every time, which is always good. Grandma Impulse, go in the distance. Paying costs. So they have a force. It wouldn't let me, it wouldn't say pay costs unless they could. Don't flip. Haha. Oh, you get the exalted. Nice. One of those. So see, we'll get Noble to swing in to finish off Narset. And then we can start impulsing, trying to find. They have some kind of paying costs. One of the two forces. It also could be days. I haven't seen days out of them, however, but I do wonder. Yeah, that's a legit question. I mean, Impulse would have been able to go deeper. You get to look at the 4 cards instead of just the 3. I would say it's probably because I haven't used Impulse as much, if that makes sense. Just not being as used to Impulse. Not giving it the credit of going 4 cards deep. Excuse me. I could have played the land there first. Mm, so, I kind of think it's take the astrolabe, Vista, crack, play the astrolabe, and just keep digging. So, bigger picture, I am wondering playing this deck out more. It does feel like you need a lot of pieces to come together. Sure. And then Noble swings, clears my Narset. And then their Narset will prevent us from being able to dig with cantrips and stuff like that. And having a force of negation for when it's relevant. See, and I think maybe I don't know if that's necessarily something I should consider. See? Nice. Right on time. I don't have, I would say that I'm not sure I have a blue-white mentality properly. They do play days. Good to know. Yep. But two two impulses are gone, and the other two are here in the sideboard. So all of our impulses are gone. And they still have Wasteland as well. So Force of Negation. They have days. It's two of the four cards in their hand. This Ponder isn't doing anything for me anyway. Start drawing show and tells. Or Cunning Wish. Yeah, but we know they have days and force negation. So we have to, if we play it on their turn, potential to only get caught by days. So as of right now, we need at least one more mana. Wipe does, but Cunning Wish does not. Now we just have to break through these counter spells and the Wasteland from our Besejus. The old Bant Wasteland deck. I guess if you have the mana creatures, you are more likely to have a spell slot in your mana base. Jam. Got me. Put in Gristlebrand, pay 7 life, don't draw any cards. Oh, wait a minute. Come on. They did not shuffle. Cool. Still have 4 cards. Yeah. Brainstorm to go with their fetch land. New fetch land. Okay. No attacks, so they have hardcast force up. Cool. Nice brainstorm. Draw 1, put 2 back on your library. I mean, can't stop it. Show and tell. So we still have Swords of Plowshares for that. Still staying home with this Force of Will. We have the fetch land now. Draw 1, put 2 back, shuffle. And oh, see, this is what I was talking about. Having the known quantity, it feels like if everybody's trying to play this blue-white show and tell deck, how is this not literally, like, that's what this deck does. Shuts that down. It has all these counter spells. It can interact with Wasteland. No, I'm just saying it's that blue-white deck has been like making the rounds on Twitter, and then to have multiple things. Yeah, that's my larger point, is that we might not be targeted, but we are squarely affected. We're getting there. Getting there fast. Draw 1. Put 2 back. We're only 6 mana short of Omniscience. I like, the good part is that I keep drawing the cards that are relevant. It's just I'm not allowed to play them. That's the bigger issue. Or if I try to play them, but I am drawing part of the combo deck that needs to draw the composite pieces. I'm doing that. I'm doing that just fine. Yep, puts me at 7. As they continue to sculpt their hand. With Preordain, I was okay because it's going to let me see what's there and ship it if I need to, which I did. Okay, so this puts us at 4. Yeah, that top card has to be Swords of the Plowshares. And we still think they have force. But I mean, I called it. I got to get bonus points for calling it. Boo. Boo. Yeah, yeah. And I'll show you my hand, which is 3 more counter spells and whatever the crap this is. Run afoul. Target opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. Yeah, they're ready for this matchup, I think. All right, I'll be right back. Oh, flash of lightning and a little bit of thunder. Hello. Be right back.